and welcome to Ship of Fools, a nautical D&D actual play podcast. I am, as always, your dungeon master on this nautical adventure. My name is Hannah McLean. I missed saying it somehow. Joining me today, I have Andy Latai.
Finn Fisher.
Nolani Stevenson.
Regin Stockweather.
And Taylor Wallace.
Malachi Kassir.
And we are back under the Lunluma Ocean, I guess within the Lunluma Ocean. Let's do a little bit of a recap, and then we can dive right in. So, last session, the party found themselves on the island dwelling of the cult of followers of the Lurker in the deep. The alarm had just been raised by the Lurker himself, and you and most members of the cult, at least those members who were in fighting shape, quickly made your way over to the actual dwelling of the Lurker. Upon arrival there, you discovered that the Lurker's dwelling place was in the process of being attacked by the High Priestess Rosalia Starhouse of Dermator and by her loyal following, who you knew as the Maelstrom Cult. A battle ensued. You managed to harry the High Priestess and break her control over the spell, the god-killing / god-trapping spell that she was casting on the Lurker.
The Golden Net.
The Golden Net. As you managed to dismantle the net, and then weaken the High Priestess a little bit more.
And kill the Blue Bitch.
And kill some of her most notable followers, yes.
Who have names, apparently.
Yeah, who have names, not that you ever learn them. The sea beneath you surged with power, and the remaining Maelstrom cult ships began being broken apart, and the followers dragged into the ocean by massive tentacles. And finally, the High Priestess herself was plucked from the sky and dragged directly into the gaping maw of the Lurker in the deep. Unfortunately, the feeling of victory is short-lived, as the Lurker, enraged by this attack on his very personhood, is lashing out against anything in the vicinity. Most of the cult of the Lurker managed to get clear of his path, although not everyone did, before the Lurker surged off on a path that will bring him into a direct collision course with the great underwater city of Nephtis. That's where we're picking up now. So, the Lurker, as you know from kind of seeing him swim off, and then Finn's connection with his father's consciousness, the Lurker is traveling very quickly toward Nephtis with nothing but destruction in mind. Back here, the Maelstrom cult has been thoroughly destroyed. Everybody was either drowned or eaten by the Lurker. The cult of the Lurker is picking themselves back up. Some of them were injured by the Maelstrom cult. Some of them were injured by the Lurker himself in this kind of last outburst of power. Adriana, from the deck of the Lanternfish, her ship, just pulled you, Regin and Malachi, out of the water, and is now looking at Finn. Finn, as you sort of descended from the sky, you're still in your, enhanced Lurker form. You still have, 9 minutes and 30 seconds left on that, because it wasn't a very long battle. And Adriana, runs one hand through her hair, and is like, we have to stop him before he gets to that city, or he will destroy all of it.
It doesn't make any sense. What is he doing? I mean, he's not supposed to destroy underwater cities, only, land cities.
None of that is in his mind right now. He's angry. We can discuss the degree of sentience that the Lurker possesses and how it sort of fluctuates later. Right now, do any of you have any way that we can get there in time?
Oh, I look at my trident. I think so.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me pull up the description.
So do you, as, a cult, have, a contingency plan for these sort of situations?
Yeah, what's your insurance policy?
If we can get his attention and manage to... If we can get his attention and slow him down, we might be able to wake up the part of him that can listen to reason. Right now, what's taken over is the anger and all the chaos of a sea storm. But if we can damage him enough to calm him down, we can talk to him.
Damage him?
He's a god.
Damage him?
He's a god. We won't kill him by hitting him with a couple of arrows, but we might be able to get him to listen to us.
That won't just make him angrier?
Here's a question for you. How often would you say that this happens? Like, how does he wipe cities off the map on the regular? Because I'm not inclined to meddle in the affairs of a god myself. So if this is just something that he, like, you know, quirky summer fun he does, I don't have a problem with it.
Cities, not often. Not in... In fact, I don't think he's ever destroyed an entire city, but, settlements and ships from time to time. But it is not something that we should simply allow to happen just because it has happened before.
And these are his people.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
Not air suckers.
I'm just saying, you know, not my circus.
You don't have to come. She, like, looks back to Finn and is like, do you have a way to get there?
Yes, with this trident, I can create a whirlpool that will transport us there.
Okay, good.
Hang on. How many can you transport, Finn?
Everyone within a 15-foot radius.
Okay.
Adriana nods and is like, turns her attention away from the three of you and kind of raises her voice to the rest of the cult of the Lurker. She says, everyone who still feels strong enough to go into into a dangerous situation and who is willing to risk their lives to help protect the city of Nephtis and to make sure that the Lurker himself remains who he is, come over here, within 15 feet, you said? Yes, within 15 feet of Finn.
Once-in-a-lifetime chance, get an up-close and personal look at the baleful truth that is the Lurker.
Everyone's getting a kiss on the forehead.
What?
Oh, is that not how it works?
I mean, you can kiss him on the forehead if you want. I'm just going to make a whirlpool. Which, if you think about it, being in the water is like getting 1,000 kisses on your forehead from the sea every second.
You see that the cult sort of moves closer or further away as they sort of assess their own injuries and also their own resolve. You see that Mela comes, like, swimming right up and is like, Nephtis is my home, I'm coming with.
All right.
And comes up to you. Can I get a perception check from each of the three of you?
You sure can.
21.
22.
13.
Finn and Regin, you two both spot in this kind of, like, movement of people, some still in the water next to the ship, most people, like, up on the Lanternfish's deck. You see that, Hargoth, the one who Adriana had been having some trouble with, the one who'd been making the speech in the square a couple episodes ago.
Oh, I thought that guy died. Shit.
No, he's still around. Is in the movement of people who are moving closer. And he steps up kind of near Finn and is like, surely you're not going to go try and stop the Lurker in the deep from doing what he wants to do, enacting his will on the oceans. Finn and Regin, you guys can both also see that he is, like, his right hand is, like, in his robes, and you can sort of tell that he's, like, clutching the hilt of a weapon and concealing it.
If I could see that, I would like to body him.
Okay.
As I clock that, I raise my eyebrows and just give Regin a little nod.
And I yell, get down, Mr. President!
With, like, the most bored, disinterested look on my face.
Malachi adopts the look of everyone in the crowd from Miss Congeniality when she jumps on the guy who she thinks has a gun during the talent contest.
Sure.
We all know the look.
Oh, yeah.
Nani, make a grapple check for me, which is an athletics check with advantage because he's not expecting you to do this.
I rolled a 2 and a 3.
Oh, no. What does that come to? He's pretty weak.
The 3 comes to a 10.
Okay, so you manage to, like, tackle him, but you don't, like, fully take him down. You just sort of, like, grab him and drag him a few sort of stumbling steps back.
Hey, I get him off guard.
You do, and it makes it obvious, like, his robes sort of, like, fall aside, and everyone can see that he's, like, holding a knife, and there's a little bit of a rippling gasp. He kind of snarls at you, Regin, and is like, you were not even of the sea. You're just a random outsider who has no business meddling with our business.
No, you're completely correct. Don't get me wrong, but this is one of my moms, and I don't fuck with old gross guys pulling knives on one of my moms. And also...
I'm one of your moms?
Is this not your mom?
Regin, I'm touched.
I'm collecting them. Our moms. But point being... No, don't. I also have a lot of unchecked rage, and I felt like tackling you in order to feel something, but now you look fucking stupid, so,
Adriana steps up and just kind of, like, grabs Hargoth's wrist as you're holding him, Regin, and just, like, casually disarms him and, like, drops the sword off the side of a ship.
Right after she does that, I want to activate my tattoo, mainly for dramatic effect, and just shoot out my black energy tentacles at Hargoth and wrap them around him and say, listen, I'll tell you what we're going to do. All right, we're going to see the Lurker because I need to talk to him because I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if this is his will, because loath as I am to say it, the High Priestess just did pretty much the one thing you can do to something like the Lurker that would addle him. So honestly, I don't know if he is enacting his will right now or not, or if he's been altered and needs to get back under control. And you can help us, or you cannot. Because helping us means getting the Lurker back, and not helping us means letting whatever that... I look around for the High Priestess to point to, and then realize she's under the water, and sort of shrug and just gesture vaguely at the surface of the water. Air-sucking,
Hey.
dirt-walking...
Hey!
sun gazer.
Ooh.
Do what she wants to the Lurker and get away with it.
Finn!
I like that a lot. I love learning new slurs.
There's a murmur of agreement from the rest of the cult, and Hargoth looks at you, Finn, and is like, I hope you know what side you're on. Then Hargoth looks at Adriana and is like, and you just think that you can tell everyone around this cult exactly what to do, as if you're the only arbiter of the Lurker's will.
She explicitly gave you a choice.
And she just, like, extremely quickly draws her own dagger and, like, cuts his cheek. And you can see that, like, immediately, like, it starts to bleed a little bit, and then immediately there's, like, barnacles and seaweed around it. And she's like, if anybody else wants to question whether I have the right to speak about the Lurker or talk about his will, we can hash this out after the immediate crisis is dealt with. Now, anyone who is coming, step within this circle, and anyone who is not, step out of it.
Yo, I take back what I said about her being my mom, because I want her to be something else after seeing that.
Oh, Regin.
Hey.
Ba-ba-ba-da-ba.
Cool. The line is drawn, a, like, 15-foot circle on the deck of the ship.
As we're preparing the ritual, I drop the tentacle tattoo, and I get close to Hargoth, and I say, listen, I can respect zealotry. Like, I'd like to have you with us on this if you'll come along, but if you stab me in the back, you'll die.
Make a intimidation check, Finn.
Can I offer advantage?
Can Regin and I give him help?
Regin can, because you're still, like, holding his arms. So, yeah, you can roll with advantage.
You're still holding him. 19.
Okay. You see his eyes widen a little bit, and he tightens his jaw, and he's like, all right, I'll come along just to make sure that things are going as they should. But you can tell that it's bluster, and he's definitely, like, not, you're pretty sure he will at least think about it before he tries to stab you in the back, if that's what he's going to do.
Didn't go so well for your buddy.
We all want the best for his fathomlessness, all right?
We certainly do, with a sort of side glance at Adriana. Okay. So the teleportation takes a minute to cast. So if there's any, like, healing that you want to do, any spells that you want to cast, anything within that minute.
Hey, can I take a minute to sniff the potion?
You can, but then that's the only thing that you're doing during the time Finn is casting teleport. Unless you guys are also, like, taking a few additional seconds before.
I think that's the best I can do in this situation, unless one of you needs something else.
Mm-hmm.
I could use a lay on hands.
You also can take, like, a minute and 6 seconds or whatever if you just want to.
A minute and an action?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to drink my greater healing potion, and I heal for 20, thanks to Nurgle.
Nice.
And honestly, I'm going to drink my common healing potion, too. I'm double fisting.
Wow.
That one's 2d4 plus 2.
Regin, I'm gonna save the lay on hands just for a bit, but I will cure wounds you, if that's cool.
Yeah, that's fine.
I let Nurgle dip his beak into the dregs of the potion just to juice him up a little bit.
Yeah, he likes it. What form is Nurgle in? Is he a gull at the moment?
He's a gull
Okay.
right now, but you've also said that he was having a little shifting identity thing going on.
Yeah.
He's a gull-esque creature.
Yeah.
Nice. You get 11 hit points.
Nice.
So that puts you at, what, 58?
Yep.
Okay. So, Finn, you take your trident, and do you have anything in your head for what this looks like as you cast this?
I think it basically looks like a big whirlpool forming beneath me. I hover right above the surface of the water and point the trident down, and the water erupts.
Nice.
And I shout out, everyone get ready to dive, because this is going to take us to the surface of the ocean, right above Nephtis.
Ooh, I thought you said die.
Well, hey, I mean, depending how this goes, maybe that too. Trying to keep it a little positive.
Are you aiming for, like, directly above the city or, like, off it in any particular direction? You know that the Lurker is coming from the south.
Yeah, I'm going to say I want to aim slightly south of Nephtis, so it's on an intercept course.
Perfect.
With the Lurker. Basically just like 100 feet outside the city walls.
Okay. Finn holds up the trident. The surface of the ocean begins to churn over the course of the next minute, swirling faster and faster and faster. All those of you within it feel yourselves being tugged around in a way that probably kind of makes you nauseous.
Absolutely makes me nauseous.
Whee!
But it doesn't last very long, because a second later you have this sensation of being pulled, and you are just dragged directly to the center of the whirlpool, and then in the next instant you are on the surface of the Aberrant Sea, above the city of Nephtis. You can't really see it from where you are, but pretty much immediately as soon as you land, the members of the Cult of the Lurker who've come with you start to dive down, and as you follow them, you see the lights of the city below you.
Whew, that cracked my back.
Finn is still hovering above the whirlpool, sees everyone else vanish, and is like, oh, shoot, right, and drops down into the water to get transported to.
Cool. You dive down. You can see, you can feel, more than see, actually, a disruption in the water coming toward you. The way that sometimes when you're, like, standing in the ocean, you can feel the motion of the waves. You can feel that something very large is headed directly for the city. Clearly, the city can feel this too, or has been alerted to this in some way, because you can see that there are, like, the gates are being pulled shut. There are these, like, shields with these massive spikes jutting out of them, that have appeared and are in the process of, like, you know, coalescing in front of the city, sort of blocking direct access to the parts that are buildings and structures built into this reef. You can also see that there are, like, guards and troops mobilizing within the city behind the shields, looking like they're ready to emerge once the Lurker actually shows up. You can see that the sea life has either scattered or is hiding. All of the, like, fish and crabs and other sea life that was around Nephtis has either ducked into the city or is, like, rapidly swimming away. As you're swimming down, Adriana is like, to what you said earlier, Malachi, it might make him angrier if we attack him, but eventually it will be enough to get his attention and get him to stop. We've had to do it before, never in this sort of situation, and things were not this bad, but this sort of thing has worked. So, hopefully it will work again. You guys see that you've ended up with the, people who've come with you. You've got Adriana, you have 2 Kraken priests, and then there's Mela and Hargoth, and 2 other, like, cultists. Everybody here has some way of breathing underwater. Probably one of the cultists, like, you saw one of them casting a spell, and then, of course, Mela's a mermaid, and the Kraken priests can breathe underwater. And Adriana also seems to have, like, an inherent way to breathe underwater. You can sort of, like, see gills that are barely noticeable, but, like, when she's underwater, you can see them moving on the side of her neck. You all swim down till you're 100 feet in front of the city. You can see in the distance the movement of the Lurker barreling toward you. I will tell you guys, we are going to enter initiative when the Lurker is 360 feet away from the walls of the city. So let me know if you want to, like, remain further back and kind of wait, or if you want to be further forward and, like, intercept.
I want to be forward. I want to be at the very front.
Yeah, I was going to say, personally, I feel like it'd be a good idea to increase the distance between us and the city so that we have a little bit more time to try and stop him.
It's like, you ever been on a hill and you're driving through the mountains and there's that 15% grade sign, and you know that if you were a big old semi-truck and you were barreling down that hill and your brakes failed, you had a hell of a stopping distance? That's what I'm thinking about.
What?
We're all in agreement.
No, I am agreeing that we should go forward because his stopping distance is probably quite long.
Yeah. Big, heavy things take longer to stop.
So you all swim forward to meet the Lurker, and so we will start initiative when he is 360 feet away from the city, and you guys are 330 feet from the city, so that you are within striking distance of the Lurker in the deep. I need everyone to please roll initiative.
On you, Finn. I'll do what you tell me.
Wow, it's the first time for everything, I guess.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, and Finn, roll initiative for Nurgle as well. You see, even though he's a gull right now, he was with you when the whirlpool pulled you under, and now, being so close to where the Lurker physically is, you can see that he doesn't really look like a gull anymore. He looks like this, like, squid creature, sort of something between a squid and an octopus, but also even more, like, spindly and, like, crawly than either of those. And he has this beak that looks, like, weirdly still kind of like a seagull beak. And he is just sort of, like, perched on your shoulder like he would be as normal Nurgle. Only now he's this,
Little freak.
you know, cephalopod creature that kind of hurts your eyes to look at.
Badass.
Yeah.
I love the new look, Nurgle.
I rolled a 12.
That's a dirty 20 for Finn,
Wow.
and a 7 for Nurgle.
Okay.
That's an 8 for me.
All right. So, the first person in initiative is Finn. Finn, you guys plunge into the water, take a quick look back at Nephtis, and then begin swimming forward as a group to intercept the Lurker. You can feel him coming, you can feel the reverberations through the ocean, but it isn't until he gets very close that you can actually see him. The Lurker's form, sort of mid-travel, he's very long, almost like an eel or a sea snake. But he has all of these tentacles, like, draping back behind and around him and framing his face. And you can see a face. There are, like, multiple of what look like they could be eyes, but 2 that are bigger and more luminous than the others. There is this massive, toothy mouth, lined with all these sharp teeth like shark's teeth, and just this gaping abyss. You can feel, Finn, the rage and chaos and desire to destroy radiating off of him. And as you are looking into the Lurker's eyes, your father's eyes, this moment that you've been waiting for, you're struck by the enormity of him and the beauty, this terrifying, chaotic beauty that he possesses. And it's hard to remember the city behind you. It's hard to feel like anything is more important than this right now. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Yoicks.
Because you guys are all grouped up, unless you want to not be grouped up, but because you guys are all grouped up, I do think you're going to benefit from aura on this one.
Okay. That's a 26.
Okay.
Wow.
You manage to, it's this wave, for lack of a better word, that washes over you. But you manage to remember, at least in this moment, no, this is what your mom said, this is what needs to be done. You don't have to worry about hurting him, you just need to make sure to stop him before he can get to the city, because he wouldn't really want to destroy the city. But there's still this little nagging feeling in the back of your head that maybe that's not right, and maybe who cares who's right? Maybe it would be really sick to watch the Lurker destroy a city. But for now, you're managing to suppress that voice inside you. Go ahead and take your turn.
Guys, we have to help. No, we have to stop him from destroy the city. Stop him from destroying the city. Okay.
Getting mixed messages, Finn.
Me too. I reach out with my telepathy first thing and try to talk to him in my mind. And I say, "Hi. It's me.
Papa."
You hear just the,
Papa, can you hear me?"
the wordless howling of the ocean in a storm. There is just like the crashing of waves and the sound of thunder and just this echoing nothingness. There's no words right now. It's just this collection of like images and sounds of the force of the sea.
Magnificent. Okay. Finn is reeling a little from that wave of rage and then reeling from making contact with this thing's mind. But he shakes his head, pulls himself together. He's like, "Come on. Would you just pay attention to me?" And he shoots an Eldritch Blast directly at its face.
Nice.
Wait, I have 3 Eldritch Blasts now, don't I?
Wow, you do.
So 3 blasts. 23, 28, and 16 to hit.
The first 2 hit, the 16 does not.
All right. That's 25 damage.
Okay.
As they impact, I shout again. Does that feel like anything? Does that remind you of anything?
The god barely seems to react. But you can see, like, the same crackling energy that is, like, ambient and emanating around this beast. Some of it gets thrown directly back at it. Anything else, Finn?
You know I'm summoning a tentacle for my bonus action. Yeah, and I summon it right next to him, and it reaches out, and rather than just smacking him, my tentacle tries to just grab on to one of his tentacles and tug on it.
Okay.
I'm still making the attack.
Of course.
Like a kid at his dad's work pants.
25 to hit.
Hits.
7 damage.
Ooh.
Hey! Hey! I'm just waving my hands.
Yeah, you see this tentacle that looks identical to all the ones around it manifest itself and just wrap around one of the other tentacles and tug. Okay, that is Finn's turn. Finn, do you want to move at all or be anywhere specific? Or just kind of still hanging out? At the moment, you guys are all at the, 330 feet from the city mark. I will tell you that the Lurker moves 60 feet on his turn.
My goal, I don't know how this translates when we're doing turn-based action, but I basically want to keep pace with the Lurker, so I remain right in front of him as he's charging forward.
Okay. What's your swim speed? 40?
40.
Okay. That is Adriana's turn, actually. You see that she lines up in front of the Lurker, kind of like right next to Finn, and points this crossbow that she has, which is a little bit insane because projectile weapons don't work underwater. But she just like confidently takes aim with this crossbow, fires, and you see that somehow the crossbow bolt slices through the water exactly as it would through air. Clearly some sort of magical property of this crossbow she's got that it is able to fire through the water. And she just yells like, "This isn't you!" at the Lurker. And she will roll. Hits with a 21. Hits for 18 damage, of which 9 is piercing damage, and the remainder of it is this, like, similar, like, seaweed and barnacles, like what you saw on Hargoth, kind of, like, emanates from around the wound, along with this, like, flash of, like, dark light around the wound.
Oh god, barnacles. Hey, Gianna, did you get that crossbow from a zombie sailor?
The rest of that damage is actually radiant damage.
Wow.
And she has a second attack.
I like your mom.
Yeah, so does Regin, apparently.
I got deeps.
Not that way.
Second attack misses with an 11. So, she will also back up a little bit, kind of trying to stay ahead of the Lurker. At the end of Adriana's turn, the Lurker is going to take a legendary action. You all feel the seawater crackle as these arcs of blue lightning go through the water, tracing, kind of bouncing off the salt water and making its way to hit Adriana, Malachi, and Regin.
That was not me. I did not do that.
I need dexterity saving throws from the three of you.
And this is just magic, not spell.
Correct.
That sucks.
12.
Thank God, mine rolled off of the 1 and onto the 17, so that's a 16, which probably still fails.
Yes. So all three of you fail.
Wow.
And take 21 lightning damage as this electricity crackles around you.
I will take 10.
Yes.
No, I'm just trying to introduce my friends to you. Come on!
And as this happens, as Adriana, like, swims past you, Regin, after you guys have just been hit by this lightning, she, like, looks at you and she's like, "Don't bother trying to hit him with lightning, by the way. It won't do anything."
Fuck!
Damn, that's like one of our main things.
One of the Kraken priests is like, "Yeah, us too. This is what happens when we draw our power from him."
Fuck!
This isn't even from him. This is fucked up. Messed up.
Okay. Cool. That is the, Lurker cultist's turn. Mela, who, by the way, cast Armor of Agathis on herself while you guys were doing the, like, prep. So she's covered in this, like, frosty, like, marine layer blue ice. Is just going to cast Eldritch Blast.
Solid work, Mela.
She has 2 beams. Yikes, misses with both of them. Clearly a little intimidated by the, massive beast bearing down on her.
You'll get him next time.
Will also back up and kind of out a little bit. All of these guys are keeping themselves out of the Lurker's main path. Hargoth kind of shouts out something like, "Yes! Yes! Continue to bring your power!" Encouraging the Lurker. But then just, you can see that as he does this, he also casts Sanctuary on himself and is...
Why are you here?
Yeah, definitely a sense of why did we bring this guy going on. But he seems to be enjoying himself.
Great.
I figured he might have some useful insight.
Everyone's having fun, right? Everyone's having a good time?
The others, I think, both of them are going to cast Bless. One of them's going to hit the 3 of you, and the other one will hit Adriana and the 2 Kraken priests. So you guys are all now under the effect of Bless.
Wow.
Okay. That is Malachi's turn.
Oh, sick. I look sort of like quickly and like a little bit warily at Finn and Adriana. Just go for it. Just like hit him with what I got.
Yes.
I mean, you're not gonna hurt him that much.
I know, but okay. I guess I'm getting into melee with a god. Malachi casts Blinding Smite and goes in for the hit.
Awesome.
21 to hit.
That hits.
And I will add a second level Divine Smite to that. Wow, I rolled so well on my D8s. Less well on my D12, but whatever. That's 50 damage, and do you need me to separate Radiant?
Beautiful number. No, I do not. And then Blinding Smite, do I need to do something?
Con save.
It's a 28.
Yeah, I figured he'd make that. I was just going for the damage here, really.
Hey, it's possible for him to fail it.
Can I stay attached to him? Well, I have another attack.
You do have another
first.
attack, yeah.
So let me try that, and then I'll see if I can stay attached to him somehow.
Just jam your axe in the side and hang on.
Yeah, that's the idea. Otherwise, he's gonna outpace me real quick. Oh, wow, that's another hit. 31 to hit.
Oh my god, yeah, that hits.
I guess I'll use just like a normal Divine Smite. 30 damage.
Cool, and would you... So if you'd like to try to hang on,
Yeah, I would.
I will allow an athletics check to try and, like, keep your axe wedged in there and yourself holding on.
Malachi, that looks a little too much like fishing for my tastes.
Listen, Finn, I'm slower than you down here.
You're lucky that's an axe and not a big hook.
Why would I have a big hook?
Yeah, it's good that you don't.
What was it, athletics?
Yes.
25?
Yeah, that'll do it.
I turn to one of the Kraken priests who has a giant hook and make dagger eyes at him.
He gives you kind of like a helpless shrug.
Hey, that guy has a giant hook. You didn't say shit to him.
Shh, I was hoping you wouldn't notice.
Hey, why do you have a giant hook, man?
They're effective. Sometimes we hunt big fish.
Oh. Whoa! All right, not the time, but
It's fine. We'll hash this all out after the battle.
Anyways, I'll see you guys up there.
Yeah, Malachi is yelling this as he's hooked onto the side of the Kraken that's moving its way toward the city. Okay, cool. The Lurker in the Deep does not like that you did 80 damage to him and then attached onto him, so he's going to use another legendary action and try, and one of the tentacles shoots out and attempts to wrap around you, Malachi.
Listen, I'm already coming with you. You don't need to do this.
A 33 to hit.
Yeah.
So you take 20 bludgeoning damage, and you are grappled.
Okay, he's grabbing me, not just whacking me?
Yeah, he just grabs you. And you take 20 bludgeoning damage as you feel yourself get squeezed. But he cannot actually move you with this legendary action, so the tentacle's wrapped around you, but you are still stuck on the side there.
All right, now I'm definitely going to see you guys up there.
Awesome. Regin, that is your turn.
Okay.
Actually, I will say, on the initiative count between Malachi and Regin, you guys see that there's a contingent of guards pouring out of Nephtis on these giant spider crab mounts that they ride. They are too far away to be of any help right now, but they are sort of aligning themselves in front of the city with these, like, big harpoons. Okay, Regin, that is your turn.
And Malachi's attached to him.
Yes.
And a tentacle has attached to Malachi.
But I am deliberately attached to him so I can keep up with the fight. But it would be nice not to be grappled, but I might be able to take care of that.
You can sustain damage, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, because I'm gonna damage you. How tall is the Lurker?
He's size gargantuan.
Wow!
So, like, extremely.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna say... I will say that he's, like, 20 feet tall. He's, like, 100 feet long.
Okay, perfect. Hannah, would you agree that the seafloor is a solid surface?
I would.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to cast Wall of Fire.
Cool.
100 feet behind me.
Okay. Yeah. You're setting it up
Yeah.
in his path. Totally.
Actually, you know what? Make that 50 feet behind me, because I do kind of want to see what's going to happen if he hits it.
Don't want to put it too far back. Okay, so at, like, 280.
280 feet from Nephtis?
Yeah.
Cool.
And I'm just going to have that up.
Nice.
And I don't care to explain how I'm making a solid wall of fire underwater, but that's simply
magic.
the power of me being a sexy fucking dragon boy.
Yeah.
And that magic exists.
It's this blue flame that is somehow managing to burn underwater. This very vivid light blue as opposed to the kind of dark blue of the water.
Hey, it's the color of my lightning, baby.
Yeah. And it just boom into place directly in the path of the Lurker.
And for flavor text, can I make it have a big stop sign in the middle?
Yeah.
Big sparkly golden stop sign.
Nice.
Yep. Spells out stop in all caps.
Quick, Mela, find a big rock and paint a road on it and then put it in his way so he thinks it's the way to go.
Don't Wile E. Coyote your father. Disrespectful.
For the sake of... Are you making it the full 60 feet long?
Yes. I don't want him to be easily able to veer from his course.
Cool. And yeah, you guys are all sort of because Nephtis is built starting on the seafloor, you guys are all 10 feet above the seafloor in terms of where you all are by default. If you'd like to go higher or lower, say that. Anything else, Regin?
Nar.
Okay. Finn, that's Nurgle's turn, your little squid buddy.
I look at him and I say, you, got any ideas?
A screech that sort of seems to mean consume, but it's a little unclear.
I already gave you some potion earlier. Come on, we gotta do this right now.
Devour?
Yeah, he could be thinking that you should just let the Lurker eat the city, or he could be thinking about French fries. It's really impossible to tell.
Right. Well, just give me advantage on whatever I do next.
That one means that he always does.
I give him a little kiss.
He pats your temple with one of these small tentacles he has.
I kiss with my freaky, monstrous mouth because I'm still in Lurker form.
Wow, this is really just gross-to-gross communication.
Okay, that is the Kraken Priests get a turn. The Lurker rolled terrible on his initiative, as you're discovering now. Truly.
It just builds the anticipation.
And they're both of the Kraken Priests. The existence of the Wall of Fire changes this a little bit, so I think they're just going to use their Thunderbolt attack. Okay, the first one misses both attacks. The second one misses one, but hits one. And you can see that this attack is doing, it's this little, ball of lightning and thunder. The lightning damage does nothing, but the thunder damage is effective. That does 12 damage. And the Lurker actually has to make a save against being knocked prone, which he passes because he's very large. But you can be knocked prone in the water.
That'd be crazy to knock this guy prone right now.
Yeah.
He just flips over.
Belly up.
Okay. That is the Lurker's turn.
Nice.
And I didn't mention this before, but as a reminder, getting hit by my tentacle does reduce your speed by 10 feet.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah, so true. Okay. So, wrongs for everything being written out in increments of 60 on my little map, but that's fine. I can adjust.
I would have mentioned it earlier, but I forgot until just now.
Then, alright, so the Lurker... Yeah, so to start with, he surges 50 feet forward, harried slightly by Finn's tentacle, but pulling Malachi with him as he moves, barreling toward, he's gonna hit that wall of fire directly if he does not change course, but it looks like he's not deterred by the stop sign.
Doesn't care.
He does, however, with the tentacle that is holding Malachi. Malachi, you feel yourself being dragged, you get dragged away from the side of the Lurker, and then, to the front of him, you sort of hit the side, behind his face. You get dragged to the front, and all of a sudden, you see this massive toothy maw coming directly for you.
Oh!
I'm here with your son!
Oh, Jesus. That is I think a 34, something like that to hit. So you take...
Starhouse, you in there?
Oh, boy.
Don't eat him! He's made of rock!
I'm not good for your digestive tract. Trust me.
Okay, you take 29 piercing damage. and you are swallowed.
Yeah!
The rest of you see as Malachi is just tossed into the Kraken's mouth, right past all the teeth, and directly into the Kraken's stomach.
Well, apparently not right past all the teeth.
You are blinded and restrained. You have total cover against attacks and other effects outside the Kraken.
No fire for me.
And you can feel the stomach acid of the lurker in the deep.
Wow, he swallows quick.
Beginning to eat at your flesh.
Hey!
Malachi, no!
You hear as Malachi's tossed into the mouth, like an abortive, hey, guys!
Get sarlacked, idiot.
Oh. Andy, I have bad news about the tentacle. I'm seeing a paragraph right here telling me that the Kraken ignores difficult terrain and magical effects can't reduce its speed or cause it to be restrained.
What?
Sorry.
Oh my god.
So it is now at 300 feet from the city. That is the end of its turn, however. The bite is the only actual action that it takes. That is the end of its turn, and also the end of this round, which means we come back to the top with Finn. Finn's turn. Finn, once again, at the start of your turn, I need a wisdom saving throw, as you watch the lurker swallow Malachi, which is obviously not good, but you could still, you're feeling, you're much closer to him now, and you're feeling like the effect of the ocean that surrounds him.
They know I'm alive in there, right?
Oh.
No, we're screaming in horror because we just saw you get eaten by the lurker.
This isn't the first time I've been swallowed, to be fair.
I don't like the way he swallows my friends, but I've got to admit he does it with style, you know?
Finn, what the hell?
17.
Okay. That actually just passes, because the DC is variable depending on some factors, and currently it was 16. So you kind of are like just managing to hold on. You feel yourself for a second getting ready to just step out of the way, and then you're like, no, it just swallowed Malachi. That I can't just let that happen.
Yes, devour your enemies, consume them. No, not Malachi, though. Most of them are fine, but not him.
Wow, he does care.
Malachi, how are you doing? Like, are you desperate in need, or can you, like, Jonah it out for a round or two?
Depends how horrific his stomach acid is. I think I'm okay. I'm at, like, 50.
In that case.
Unless he has teeth in his stomach.
You haven't seen any yet.
I can't see shit. I'm blinded.
Oh, yeah.
I lock eyes with the lurker and then spend a minute with my glance darting around trying to figure out which eyes I'm supposed to look at. And then I raise up my hands with the trident. And I'm like, do you feel this? And I'm going to cast Control Water.
Okay.
Specifically redirect flow and make all of the water around us flow away from Nephtis, so the current is pushing against the lurker to try to slow him down.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, okay. Here's what I'll say. Make me a spell attack roll to see how effective this is.
15.
Okay. So you redirect, rechannel the ocean, and you all feel the current around you, which there's like this strong current that was propelling the lurker toward Nephtis. You feel part of that current redirect, and now the water is slamming into itself as these two forces are warring. I will say that 15 is enough to have his speed. So he is now moving at 30 feet per round. But, yeah, it is not able to stop him in his tracks, but it does significantly slow him down.
See, mastery of the sea, you know where I get that from?
There's a great roar.
Same place I get this! And I'm going to bring my tentacle forward and have it do the same grab, pull attack as before.
Okay.
28 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
2.
Wow.
And I'll specify this is cold damage because the tentacle can do cold or lightning. And I'm not doing lightning.
Nice. Yeah, cold damage is fine. Okay. Anything else, Finn? And do you want to move at all? You are currently, backed right up against the wall of fire, but you can swim over it. I'm going to say that in order to swim over the wall of fire, it costs you 10 feet of movement, but it's very doable.
Yeah, I'll just swim over the wall of fire. I want to keep doing what I was doing, swimming backwards so that I remain in front of the Lurker.
Okay.
And through gritted teeth, I'm like, this is pretty impressive, right?
Okay. Adriana is going to shoot with her crossbow. Hits with one of them. 15 damage this time. Again, that same combination of radiant and magical piercing damage. And she will also swim over the wall of fire and is still keeping herself off to the side a little bit. Okay, the other cultists. Mela's gonna Eldritch Blast twice. So nice of her to be a warlock. So much more simpler than the little proto-clerics I've got here. She does actually hit with one of those.
Wow.
Go girly.
Told you you'd get him next time.
Thanks! 7 damage. And then, let's see. Yeah, Healing Word does require sight, so nobody can help Malachi. He's just gonna have to Jonah it out, as we said.
It's a shame Malachi's dead already. We'll miss him.
I think one of them is going to also swim over the wall of fire and cure wounds Adriana, because she took a pretty significant hit from that lightning. Get her 10 hit points back.
Nice.
And the other one's gonna cast Spiritual Weapon. Might as well. Misses. And with their action, they'll Sacred Flame, although yeah, the Lurker passes that save. Nice. And Hargoth continues to be pretty useless. He's just kind of keeping pace. He avoids the wall of fire, and is just sort of shouting out things, words of encouragement toward the Lurker, but is not actually taking any actions to be helpful.
I shout to Hargoth, if you let Nephtis fall, you're letting the surface dwellers win.
Interesting argument. You can make a persuasion check, Finn. He doesn't like surface dwellers.
Did he cheer when the Lurker swallowed me?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I didn't realize you were into vor, Hargoth. That's a 19.
Okay. He frowns and seems like he's considering that for his next turn. That is... I forgot about legendary action, so let's take one of those now. The Kraken will lash out with its tentacle, I think, at...
Not me.
Yeah, not you.
Surely he wouldn't go after his old piece of ass.
Well, here's the thing, is that he can't go after... a lot of people have successfully hidden behind the wall of fire, basically.
Nice.
Could just kind of, go over it, and it's opaque. So, the cultists, Adriana, Finn, are all behind the wall of fire.
Ah.
I think he will go ahead and lash out at one of the Kraken priests, because he hasn't hit them yet, and one of them did hit him, so he's gonna... Yeah, he has to roll extremely poorly to miss these. So that guy takes... Wow, 26 piercing damage, and is grappled. Okay. That is Malachi's turn. Malachi, you are, as we mentioned, blinded and restrained in the Kraken's gullet, kind of sliding down this very...
Okay, so I'm not in the tummy yet?
You are not. You are sliding down its gullet, down this very, wet and slimy and acidic passageway.
Question. Why am I blinded? Is it because I'm being pressed into the flesh of the gullet, or is it just because there's no light in here?
It's a combination of the two.
Because my axe is supposed to be glowing still.
Your axe is glowing. You can sort of see it faintly behind you. But you are the walls of flesh and mucus in here are keeping you blinded.
Okay. Well, while I'm sliding down the gullet, I would like to take my axe and try and lodge so I don't get all the way to the stomach.
Okay, go ahead and do that.
And so I'm rolling with this.
Yes.
Oh, he's gonna need a lot of Tums after this.
Well, at least they were both equally bad. Yeah, no, it won't hit. It's a 15.
Yeah, it does not hit.
Second attack.
Mm-hmm.
22.
Yes, it does.
I shout from within the gullet, fuck you! How thick is the lurker's neck?
Why are you asking?
Would it be hypothetically possible for me to cut out a little hole?
Maybe with enough damage. You also are, like, hitting this thing's throat.
So maybe he'll just puke me.
Basically, let's see how much damage you do, and then we'll talk.
I guess we'll go for the 3rd level Divine Smite while we're at it. That's 42 damage on that hit.
Okay. You feel the throat muscles kind of, like, contract a little bit, but not quite enough to expel you from it.
Oh, if I just hit on that first one. Yeah, I guess I'm just chilling.
Okay.
But I am only halfway down the gullet because I struck with my axe.
Yes, you are currently, your axe is sunk into the flesh and you are holding on.
Okay, cool, I guess.
Neat. At the end of your turn, the Kraken is going to take
The what?
another legendary action.
Yeah, use his name, thank you
I'm
very
so
much.
sorry. The Lurker in the Deep, his proper title. Going to use another legendary action to take the Kraken Priest that is in his tentacle and fling him through the water. Just
Whoa.
throwing him directly at Regin. Regin, I need a dexterity saving throw from you.
Whoa. Dirty 20.
Okay, cool. So you manage to, dive out of the way as this guy is flung 60 feet past you.
Oh, so he goes through the wall.
Ooh. Actually, yep, that's what I just realized as well. Frankly, there's no reason the Kraken wouldn't throw him directly through the wall of fire. So this guy's gonna take, what is it? He has to make a save of some kind,
Yes,
right?
it is a dex save, please.
He gets a 12 on the dex save.
No.
Okay.
28 fire damage.
Okay. He's still conscious. Those of you behind the wall kind of hear a like, whoa, as this Kraken priest comes flying directly through the Owen stop to the other side, covered in this blue fire. But he's still conscious.
Whoa, did you do that on purpose?
Ow! Absolutely not!
Oh, that's rough, buddy.
The Nephtis guard comes closer. Their crab mounts have a 60-foot speed, and so they are now at 120 feet from the city, charging to come help you guys. That is Regin.
I'm gonna message. Malachi, are you alive? Hello? Speak to me, brother.
You get a moment of silence. And then you get back, oh my god, Regin! This is so gross, get me out of here!
Oh, now that I know you're alive, I just found this funny. Alright, let me think about what I can do here. And Finn, you're cool with me just doing damage?
Yeah, seems like it's not that big a deal, but do it respectfully, you know?
Sure. I mean, yeah, alright.
You know, make it clear that it's like reluctant damage.
Sure. Yeah, I definitely feel bad about this. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and cast Shatter as a 3rd level.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Centered basically on the, the base of the Lurker's skull.
Ooh, fun. Con save?
Yes, please.
Okay, he gets very high, but he'll still take the half damage.
15 total, so
Okay.
whatever half of that is. And it is thunder.
Yes, and so he does take that.
And I say, hey, boss man, look, please, your son's here. Don't you want to see him for real? For the love of fuck, man, can you just fucking chill? God.
And we know he loves fuck.
I'm just saying this because you're putting an uncomfortable mirror up to my own actions when I'm irritated and lose control of my semen faculties and I risk hurting the people who I, love the most. So...
You've lost control of your semen faculties?
What?
Regin, have you eaten Malachi before?
I was talking more about the destroying a city. I'm drawing parallels here. I'm trying to help you. Finn, are you with me or no?
You hear a great roar. Malachi, you sort of like feel it as you're stuck in this thing's throat.
Through the message you hear, ugh!
Cool. I think at the end of your turn, he'll go ahead and take one more legendary action.
I'm like a popcorn kernel stuck in his throat.
Yeah, you are. Not helping with the overwhelming rage here. He's gonna grab the other Kraken Priest. Wow.
Bet you can't eat just one.
That still hits. It was a low roll, but still hit. And so that guy takes a bunch of damage. Hold on. 22 damage and is grappled. Okay. That is Nurgle's turn.
Okay, on Nurgle's turn, I'm gonna say, okay, Nurgle, listen to me. I need you to go in there. Ah! And I'm pointing to the Lurker's mouth. Just get on down there, find Malachi, see if he needs any help actions with stuff, alright?
The, squid Nurgle pushes off from Finn's shoulder and, swims directly up to the Lurker's mouth and just sort of, goes in the corner and just disappears into the darkness. Malachi, you're still, blinded, stuck in here, and all of a sudden you feel a very small tentacle, you tap on your temple.
Oh, God.
As, a little, hello. But it somehow feels helpful.
Nurgle?
Malachi, what's happening to you?
Little tentacle on my head?
Oh, yeah, Nurgle's in there.
Oh, thank God. Hey, buddy.
Or it could be the intestinal cilia.
No, I'm still in the throat.
Could be the thrussy.
Regin, I swear to God, when I get out of here, I'm gonna kill you.
I have done nothing to... Yeah, okay.
Okay. That is, the Kraken Priests. The one who's grappled is just gonna go ahead and do his melee attack, because, you might as well. Let's see if he hits with it.
As I watch Nurgle disappear into the throat, I whisper, talk about meeting your maker.
Ba, 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 ba.
He does not hit with it, which is tragic and feels silly because he's grappled, but he's being kind of, flung around, and so it's hard to actually get a way to hit. Second guy, the very injured one who's now behind the wall of fire, will sort of pop his head up over the wall of fire and make his ranged attacks. That one hits. Wow, second one crits. This guy is
wow, good for this guy.
Yeah, encouraged by the how injured he is and the fact that he just got flung through a wall of fire. Underwater, no less. Okay, he does a total of 29 damage.
I turn to Adriana. I'm like, hey, so what's this guy's deal? He's pretty cool, right?
He turns back to you and he's like, thank you. And Adriana's kind of like, he's kind of a nerd, but he's doing great right now, so...
Hey, your name doesn't end in off, does it?
No.
Thank goodness.
I can't tell you what it is, but it doesn't end in off.
I respect that. Sometimes you need to be secretive about that sort of thing. I've met enough Fae.
Exactly.
Nice pocket protector, by the way.
Thanks.
His clothes are all singed from the fire, but his pocket is pristine.
That is the Lurker's turn. To start with, Malachi, the acid eats away at you. You take 32 acid damage.
Okay.
From, the general yuckiness in here. I won't make Nurgle take it because he went in there voluntarily. I think that doesn't count as being swallowed, so...
It's because he's of the
and also,
Lurker.
yeah, he's from here.
Oh, yeah, he's just bathing in the stuff. It does nothing to him.
Ooh, okay, actually, it's bad in here. Get me out.
The Lurker also continues to barrel forward, fighting against the current. So, he hits the wall of fire. Moves 30 feet and hits the wall of fire. Nani, what save is that? Dexterity?
Yes, please.
Okay. Ooh, a 15?
Fails!
Wow!
Yeah.
Oh!
Okay.
22 fire damage.
Okay. He roars as he surges through this blue fire. That bloodies him. He is now bloodied.
Nice.
Fire, the longtime nemesis of water.
Yes.
And for for the first time, everything else you guys have done to him has left no visible effect, but for the first time, the wounds are starting to wear on him, and it looks like he's slowing down, maybe partly because of the current and partly because he is... You see some of the tentacles are starting to kind of, like, lie there dormant in the water, and others almost look like they want to propel him in an opposite direction, like he's fighting a sort of internal battle of his own.
Wow. Everyone's got demons.
He still has to take his real turn. That was just movement. Okay, I think now that he has burst through the wall of fire, he's just going to start grabbing people. So... I forgot to ask you, Nani, where does Regin go at the end of his turn? Is he staying, or is he trying to, like, keep pace with the Lurker?
Now that he's blitzed through the wall, I'm just gonna go, like, well, and I will use my movement to swim up and over the wall and kind of join the party on the other side.
Cool. So you're gonna get attempted to be grabbed by a tentacle.
Oh, wonderful.
It's a 20 to hit. So that's 18 bludgeoning damage, and you are grappled.
Okay.
Grappled and restrained. Another one is going to shoot out and attempt to grab Adriana. That hits. So she takes 19 bludgeoning damage, but you see that actually as the tentacle, like, wraps itself around her, she actually manages to just sort of, like, slip right out of it. You don't see exactly how she does it, but somehow she just immediately escapes the grapple. But she does still take the damage.
Can you also fit your body through a space as narrow as 1 inch?
She, like, waves her hand and is like, no, but I can get out of a grapple. And then I think with its third tentacle attack, it's going to try and grab Mela, who has hit him at this point. Hits. She takes...
No!
She takes 22 bludgeoning damage and is grappled.
Ruh-roh.
Okay. And that is the end of the Lurker's turn. It is now holding Regin, the second Kraken Priest, and Mela all in its tentacles. That is back to the top. That is Finn's turn. Finn, give me a wisdom saving throw.
All right. That is 16.
Ooh, okay. Finn, you're... The only thing that is sort of, like, keeping you grounded right now is your concern for your friends. Because other than that, like, the more that you see the Lurker work, and the more that you still are, like, in this form that is connected with him, and you no longer have Nurgle, like, grounding you, and so you're starting to feel yourself floating in this water, and the more and more, like, blood that's in the water, the more that you're feeling your own destructive urges come out. It would be so easy to just drop concentration on control water and just let that current go the way that it's supposed to go. You did technically fail the save, but by so little, it's like medium, that you don't lose it completely. You still know that the Lurker needs to be stopped, but it's really hard to bring yourself to actually want to do so. Do with that as you will.
Yeah, so I'm just floating there staring at the oncoming Lurker in awe of his thalassic majesty. And I'm like, yeah, what am I doing? There's no point. There's no reason to stand against him. Whatever he's doing, that must be right. I mean, he's the Lurker in the deep. I mean, what do I know that he doesn't? But I still care about my friend, so I'm going to cast Dimension Door through Nurgle, which is a thing I can do with my familiar.
Wow!
So Nurgle and Malachi both teleport to outside of the Lurker.
Yeah!
So Malachi and Nurgle both teleport out from inside the Lurker's gullet, and basically blink into existence with Finn and everyone else, but like 60 feet off to the left, so he's not in the way of the oncoming Lurker.
Of course.
Oh, hey man.
Malachi's like covered in shit. Not shit.
The opposite of shit.
Acid.
The precursor to shit.
Acid
Spit.
and mucus. Yeah.
Covered in spit. So bloody.
And Malachi, you arrive outside of Lurker just in time to see Finn wave his hand, and the current batting against the Lurker suddenly disappears.
Did we stop him?
There's no stopping him.
Fuck me. Malachi looks at Regin like shit.
I look back at the Lurker, and I say, let your will be done. But
The Catholicism is really jumping out.
let's focus on the right targets at least. And I'm going to have my tentacle blink over to Mela and try to pry her out of the Lurker's grasp. Do you want me to make like an attack roll or what?
Yeah, I guess just make a spell attack roll to just sort of like pull. But I'm gonna have it have the Kraken's armor class rather than like Mela's.
26.
Wow, that does hit. Your tentacle wraps around her and gets like a better grip, and she's like fighting against the Lurker's tentacle, but just sort of like grabs onto yours, although you can see everyone around here is like, you know, they're mid fighting for their lives still, but they are also watching you with this sort of oh fuck look on their faces as you stop the current that was so helpfully pushing the Lurker back. But you do manage to tug Mela free, and she sort of like swims back away from your tentacle as soon as she's free.
Hey, so that is her city, you know.
And it will be an honor to see its artifice drowned beneath his pelagic mights.
It's already underwater, Finn.
Yeah, extra drowned, though.
Okay, anything else, Finn, or are you...
I keep swimming, but this time, instead of, like, backing away watchfully from the Lurker, I turn towards Nephtis and is swimming with my trident out, like I'm leading a charge.
Okay.
Regin, grab him.
Hey man, I'm just over here with the stop sign.
So, the first thing that happens is that the Lurker in the Deep is going to take a legendary action at the end of Finn's turn. And it seems to be almost like reacting to Finn. Like, you hear this roar that sounds almost gleeful, like reverberating throughout the water.
Damn it.
And from spewing out of... It's a little hard to tell where this is coming from, if it's coming from the Kraken's mouth or from, like, ink sacs next to its mouth. But this cloud of ink spreads out from the Kraken around...
That's where I get that from.
In a 60-foot radius around the Kraken. So basically, Malachi and Nurgle are actually on the outside of this because they got stuck out there by Finn. Everybody else is in this cloud, which is considered heavily obscured, and you can tell that the ink has a, like, poisonous nature to it that is soaking in through your skin.
Awesome.
Finn, I'm actually going to say that you, because it is specifically that area is heavily obscured to creatures other than the Kraken, I'm going to say that that effect specifically, you can also still see through the cloud.
Good God.
Which means that you can see that, like, as the cloud is starting to spread out, Adriana, like, had her crossbow trained on you. It's her turn next, and she, like, as you've started this speech, where she was pointing her crossbow swung from the Lurker over to Finn. And you can see, everyone can see before the cloud covers, that her brow is furrowed in this mixture of, like, worry and determination as she points the crossbow in Finn's direction. However, then this ink cloud happens. Okay. Finn, because you are still able to see through the cloud, you see Adriana look back and forth between where she knows that the city is and toward where she knows that the rest of the people that she brought here are being held in these tentacles still in this cloud, and the Lurker who is now coming on without a wall of fire or a current stopping him. You see her swing the crossbow over at you, and you watch as she fires. It looks like she's aiming, like she can't see right now. She's just aiming toward where she knew you were a second ago. It's a little bit hard to tell. Like, it kind of looks like she's maybe aiming just at your shoulder, aiming to do something that will maybe just, be like a gentle nick, or like not even hit you at all and just kind of land right next to you. But it does hit your shoulder. You take just 6 piercing damage. It doesn't do the, like, barnacles and seaweed thing. Just straight up magical piercing damage from the crossbow bolt.
Oh, man, I was hoping I could get some barnacles and seaweed growing on me.
And she calls out in this, like, very firm voice, "You're getting swept up in the moment. Think for yourself. Think about what you know the Lurker would actually want. Think about what you actually want." And then for her second attack, she swings the crossbow back around and fires at the Lurker. Ooh, and that one she misses. She can't see a place that isn't covered by armor. And so that bolt just sort of glances off the side. She now actually is going to swim toward Actually, Regin, you're still doing okay, right? How many times have you been hit?
was hit like twice. I'm at 38 out of 81, which is like not great, but...
Okay. She's going to swim in the direction where she last saw Regin, and she doesn't, like, actually do anything, but she just, like, stays right next to you and sort of, like, puts her hand on the tentacle. And Regin, you realize that something about being near her is, like, loosening the tentacle's grasp to the point where you feel like on your turn you would probably have a better shot of managing to escape.
Hey, big guy, sun's getting real low.
Awesome. That's her turn. Oh, and at the end of her turn, she has to take damage from being in the ink cloud. Wow. Crits on her con save, so only takes half of this, which is half of 13, so just 6 poison damage. Cool. Hargoth is going to just dash out of the ink cloud, because he was thinking about, he, by the way, is delighted by Finn's apparent speech. As everyone else is staring at you with horror, this guy's been going like, yes, yes!
Hargoth, my brother! We swim together!
Yeah! And then the ink cloud covers him, and he's like, so he will take his turn getting out of the ink cloud. I actually think the other 2 cultists are gonna... One of them will do the same, the other will heal. They don't have a ton of HP, but they have enough. So they will heal Mela and the extremely injured Kraken Priest, and then start swimming, like, out of the cloud. Oh, and I think I forgot about Mela's Armor of Agathis. So she looks okay. She's going to go ahead and Eldritch Blast again, then, even though it has to be with disadvantage because of the heavily obscured area. Misses that one. Yikes. Just barely misses the second one. So these arcane blasts go through the water but don't manage to hit. And then these guys all have to take poison cloud damage. All fail the con save. Low damage roll, though, which I will just use for all of them because I don't really want to roll it 3 times.
Embrace the pain. It is born from his ink glands.
His what?
Ew. So they each take 9 damage. And I will make concentration checks for Bless. Ooh. The one who was concentrating on the NPCs drops concentration on Bless, so they don't have it anymore. But you guys are still good. That is Malachi's turn. Malachi, you are just on the outside of this ink cloud, 60 feet away from the Lurker.
Yeah, so that means if it's a 60-foot radius emanating from his head, that 40 feet of him is not in the ink cloud, and I can see.
You can, although it is, like, back.
Yeah. In that case, what I'm going to do is I guess I'm going to go in and try and attack the Lurker.
Okay. How are you getting there?
I'm going to Misty Step and swim.
Cool. So, if you do that, you can, like, cut through the corner of the ink cloud and attack the back of him and have, like, not have disadvantage on it. Although you do have Nurgle helping you, which would cancel out the disadvantage to being flat, at least on the first attack. However, if you do that, then when the Lurker does swim forward, you're going to be more left behind.
What if I do another athletics check to hang on?
We could try it.
Okay, given that I have Nurgle with me right now, I'm going to just swim right to where, based on what I can see of the rest of him, I know the obscured part of his body to be.
Okay.
So that hopefully, like, when he does move, even if I don't manage to stay attached, I'll still have a few feet within reach next round.
Awesome.
So Malachi takes in this whole situation freshly out of the gullet, I mean.
I wanted you to get to watch, Malachi.
Oh, fuck me.
Gross.
Malachi...
No!
Ew! Malachi grabs gently little squid Nurgle and's like, okay, come on. And Misty steps 30 feet towards the Lurker and then swims as fast as his little butt can manage the rest of the way so he can attack.
Yeah, go ahead and attack.
Wow, I definitely hit though. That's a 29.
Hits.
All right.
You're fighting the inevitable, Malachi. I can see you from in here.
I will do a singular first level Divine Smite, and then I will have exactly one spell slot left.
Okay.
Finn, this is wrong. This is not what you actually want.
Yeah, huh?
Okay, so that's first hit.
You don't care what I want, Malachi. You're loyal to the dirt and the plants.
I'm loyal to people too, Finn.
Not the sea.
You used to be. 35 damage on the first attack.
Okay.
I'll go in for my second.
Uh-huh.
And this time it is at dis?
Yes.
Wow, win for me. I think it's gonna hit anyways. 22.
Yeah.
Okay, so second attack. Here we go. 14 damage.
Okay. All right. Anything else? You use your bonus action.
Oh, I am gonna try and hang on.
Okay. Make an athletics check.
20. Dirty.
That just allows
Okay,
you to
okay.
do it. You manage to sink your axe in and kind of like grab onto one of the tentacles to steady yourself.
Nice.
And are hanging on. I do need a Constitution saving throw from you at the end of your turn from the ink
Oh
cloud.
shit, forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's not great. Yeah, it's just gonna be a 13.
Okay. So you fail the saving throw and take 11 poison damage.
Ha! I'm still up!
Yay!
Not for long if you keep this up.
You're gonna kill me, Finn?
No. But he might. And I don't want that. So just get out of the way.
Then stop this!
I can't. No one can.
Yes, we can. He's your father.
Okay, that's the end of Malachi's turn. The Nephtis guard rides their crabs, another 60 feet forward to the 180 foot mark, and there you see them, like, get into battle formation and hold up their harpoons, because the Lurker is going to charge right into them on the next turn. And you see they're just kind of, like, actually, I guess a lot of you don't see it. Finn sees this, and they're just, like, pointing their harpoons at the ink cloud without really a target to aim at. That is Regin's turn.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna drop con on Wall of Fire, so my stop sign dissipates.
We can go now, everyone. It's allowed.
And I'm gonna BA Rage.
Nice. You can, by the way, escape the tentacle if you'd like by spending 5 feet of movement.
And I will do that after I rage,
Nice.
so that I can rip through with more great flaring of muscles and presence of baby dragons.
Yeah. The little dragons, you can see them in the ink cloud, like, surrounding your head.
Oh, hey guys. And I would like to try and clear from the ink cloud.
Okay. You can do it if you dash. It does take up your action, but you can dash right outside of it. Or do you want to go to the side, or do you want to go forward?
The side.
Okay. So you dash out of the ink cloud and do not have to make a save at the end.
Cool.
Nice.
Look, man, I'm just gonna mind my business.
That's the right choice!
No, this is our business. Oh my gosh, we came into this with a plan, guys.
Nurgle is screeching from Malachi's shoulder, just kind of screeching into the void. That is his turn, Andy.
What side is Nurgle on here?
It's really hard to tell. Nurgle, seems like he's, generally, Nurgle just backs up anything Finn does, but Malachi, you can definitely detect, alarm in his current screeches. Kind of like a, ah!
You're scaring Nurgle, Finn. Ah! Nurgle's distressed.
No, No, it's fine!
It's okay, Nurgle, you can stay here. We'll do it together.
Ah! He gladly kind of settles on Malachi's shoulders to help him, but you can see Malachi that his little squid face is pointed in Finn's direction, and there's this...
Malachi gives him a little kiss.
It's gross, he's so slimy.
It's okay, it's Nurgle, I care.
I shout to Nurgle, just keep the big guy from hurting himself, alright?
Ah! I don't think he can hurt himself.
No, you!
Oh, me?
You're 8 feet tall, you qualify as a big guy!
I'm 6'6".
The Kraken Priests... they're both grappled, so they're both just going to make melee attacks with disadvantage because of the, Oh, wow! One of them hits anyway with double 16s. The other one misses. But the one that hits actually does quite a bit of damage because this attack is good. 31 damage. By that same, nerdy
that
one.
Guy.
Yeah.
Why have you turned against me, nameless one?
You're the one with the sudden heel turn, man. The rest of us have been pretty consistent.
You could have gone so far by my side.
Both fail their con saves and take only 8. Okay. Lurker turn. Nobody is currently swallowed. Moves 60 feet forward. Is now at the 210 mark, dragging Malachi and everybody who's grappled with him.
Just got a bunch of party favors.
Yeah.
Whee!
He's gonna use his 3 tentacle attacks again. Is going to grab Malachi. With a, 27 to hit. So Malachi, you take... 21 damage.
Okay, then I'm down. But then I'm back up because of my tattoo.
Okay, cool.
So, Finn can see Malachi briefly goes unconscious, and then his tattoo activates.
Okay.
And he, blearily blinks back awake, and he's, still hanging onto the axe.
Yeah. The tattoo on the back of your neck sends this pulse of warmth through your body, shocking you back to life. You've still got your axe clutched in your hand, but now the tentacle is wrapped around you.
Finn?
That is exactly what I said would happen.
That is exactly what he said would happen.
Okay, and I'm saying stop it.
He's gonna throw, this Kraken Priest that he's holding at the line of guards, that are, out here in front of him. So I will make a dexterity saving throw for one of these guards. Fails. So both the person getting thrown and the guy who gets hit take, only 5 bludgeoning damage, and are both knocked prone.
Ooh, a 7-10 split.
And in fact, I'm gonna say that this knocks the one guy off his crab, so he's gonna have to clamber back up onto it next time. And then the third attack, I think he's gonna just grab another one of this line of soldiers. So that guy takes 22 bludgeoning damage, which is pretty significant for these guys, who are just normal guards, but does not fully knock him out. And he is also grappled and pulled right off of his spider crab. At the end of the Lurker's turn, the cloud dissipates.
Oh, thank God.
It just sort of disperses out into the sea around it. Okay, Finn, we're back to you.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead and give me a wisdom saving throw. You are still blessed, and the DC reflects the sort of arguments that people have been having with you over the past round. So, go ahead and roll.
Okay. That's a 16 again.
Okay. This time, Finn, you are still in this place of confusion. The Lurker surges past you, and you can see the way that his tentacles are like flowing out behind and around him, the way that he seems to fill the whole space of the ocean and contain the whole magnitude of the seas. You can see the way that the soldiers in front of him are trembling a little bit as they face down this god, who just can grab them like it's nothing. But you can also see Malachi barely clinging to consciousness, held in one of these tentacles. You can see Regin with his dragons flying around him off to the side. Adriana, who's sort of been left behind, but is still holding her crossbow, and you can still feel the bolt in your shoulder. And even more than that, what really gets to you is the way that Nurgle is screeching and still holding on to Malachi. The way that he's calling out in your direction as if there's something urgent happening here, something that you need to pay attention to. Like his cries when he's really hungry or when there's just really bad vibes. He's giving off the baddest vibe alarm you've ever heard. And you can also see that the Lurker himself, as his wounds are beginning to affect him now, as more and more of his blood is seeping into the water around the dispersed ink, the Lurker himself seems to be fighting a war not too dissimilar from what you're fighting. You watch as he's sort of like surging forward and then pulling back. And you can't ignore that. I mean, you trust Nurgle about the vibes. Surely something isn't quite right here. You can act as normal.
Okay. Yes, let the city be swept away. Let it crumble beneath the onslaught of the uncaring sea. No, that's not right. It's not, Nurgle, what is it? No, well, I look around and I see all those things that you said. And Finn stops in the water for a moment. It's like, no, this isn't right. They're doing it right. Nephtis, it's perfect. That's everything life should be. Underwater paradise. If that's not... No, this isn't right. And I swim after the Lurker, who I imagine I'm sort of side by side with now.
Yeah.
And Finn looks around again. He locks eyes with Adriana and looks down at the crossbow bolt in his shoulder and doesn't say anything. And then he swims up and tries to cut around so he's in front of the Lurker. And meanwhile, he telepaths to everyone who can receive his telepathy, which I imagine is pretty much everyone except Regin and Malachi, and is just going, sorry, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I don't know what came over. Well, I do know what came over me, I think we all do, he's right there. But oh my god, that wasn't me. And then first, he's going to swim up to the Lurker and literally just like physically put his hands against the Lurker's face and be like swimming in the opposite direction, trying to push against him. Like Superman stopping a train. And in doing so, I will fire 3 Eldritch Blasts from my palm directly into his flesh.
Whoa.
Okay.
Holy... I'm not kidding. 2 of those were nat 20s.
Wow!
And the third was a 26.
Telling a story.
Wow, yeah.
Oh my
all hit
God.
and 2 are crits. Holy shit.
So I'm about to deal 5d10 plus 25.
Wow.
Oh.
I know. And I'm both saying this out loud and trying to telepath it into the maelstrom that is the Lurker's mind. I know how intoxicating this is, but it isn't you. At least, I don't think so. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure, but I'm acting on a hunch here. I'm pretty sure this isn't you. and I deal 55 force damage.
Nice.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah, you sure do.
Just trying to somehow use this lurker energy that I've got inside me to establish a rapport.
This time, as you're speaking into the mind, you're still, like, hearing the maelstrom, and it's, even for you, it's painful to kind of have this telepathic link open. But now you're also hearing other things. It's like as if in listening to the waves, you're starting to also hear, like, voices calling through the waves, and, like, bubbling sounds, and the sound of, like, rushing water, but like a river or a waterfall, rather than the, like, endless crashing of the ocean. You can tell that there's something more that you're almost accessing.
And, of course, my tentacle is gonna just pop up right next to me and also be pushing against him. 21 to hit.
Hits.
And 8 damage!
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Nurgle, I'm sorry. I'll never doubt your vibe sense again.
He seems joyous.
Oh, and Malachi, sorry you died for a second. I guess that wasn't great.
Glad you're back, buddy.
That seems like that would have happened no matter what I did, right?
No, probably not, but who knows? You're back now, that's what matters.
Well, no one can say. Bygones, bygones.
Okay. The Lurker's gonna take a legendary action.
Maybe he just wants a cuddle. Maybe he's realizing that.
You guys feel the electricity crackle through the water again. It's gonna target Malachi.
Okay, I'm out.
Yeah. And I think Adriana, and I think for the first time I need a dexterity saving throw from Finn.
Oh, am I within aura?
Yeah, you're right in front of the Lurker, and Malachi's held in one of its tentacles right there, so I will say yes.
Regin has little floaties on his dragon's armses and is teaching them how to swim.
Keep up with Daddy.
They look so cute.
I am not engaged in this conflict at all.
All right.
That's an 11.
All three of you take just 15 lightning damage.
Malachi sees the Lurker start to, and he looks at Finn and he's like, "You got this, Finn." And then
If you say so.
he doesn't make that sound. He just gets zapped and drops his axe as he falls unconscious. Finn, get that back, please.
On it.
Or Nurgle can grab it for me because he was meant to be helping me this turn.
Doesn't your axe have a wrist strap like a weaver?
Oh, I guess.
I thought this was... I mean, I feel like it should if it doesn't.
No, I want Nurgle to be wielding the axe.
Great. He can wrap it up in his little tentacles. Okay.
Also, I am only going to take half that as my tentacle wraps around me and insulates me from the lightning.
Nice.
See, look, it protects me. That's what it does. That's what you do. You protect me, usually.
Big thundering roar. But a little bit weaker than the thundering roars before. Adriana's still up, so she can't keep up at this point. She's being left behind, but she will still take her crossbow shots.
Not at me. I'm on your side again.
Yes, no, I really appreciate that. That was a scary 6 seconds there. Yikes. No, neither of those hit. Tragic. She's lost a lot of blood. That is the other Lurker cultists. Mela is going to shoot her Eldritch Blasts, and she's like, Finn, are you good now?
Yeah.
And by good, I mean both okay and, like, morally?
I mean, I guess it's sort of questionable, you know? It's a sliding scale, good and evil.
Right,
but
sure. But, like, we can still see the puppet show once we save the city rather than letting it be destroyed.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. Great. She misses with one of her Eldritch Blasts, but hits with the other one, kind of right next to Finn's head, for 7 damage. Here's the thing, though. These, little cultists have healing spells. I don't think either of them can reach you, but they can healing word you, which will mean that you're up on your turn.
Nice.
So you regain 11 hit points from both of them.
Malachi wakes up and he's like fallen back like 10 feet from where he'd been.
Nurgle drops Malachi's axe back in his hand.
Thanks, buddy.
And Hargoth actually is going to, kind of like, as Finn starts pushing the Lurker back, he's like, what? No!
Oh, forget that stuff I said before.
I'm getting really mixed signals here, but...
Listen, if
fine.
Nephtis is living according to the Lurker's code, they're doing everything right. And if he wants to destroy that, well, then I just don't know him anymore. Which means he is not himself.
Maybe I don't really care about that. Maybe I just like destruction.
I mean, I can't hold it against you. Be your truest self, but...
Go to like a bottle smashing bar or something.
You and Regin should hang out.
This old, I think I said he was a Triton man, like waves across to you, Regin. You guys are on opposite sides of the battle at this point.
I do like an awkward, like, white guy, lipless smile and raise a hand.
Cool.
Would it kill you to just give me a hand here?
Finn, make another persuasion check. You undid the work of your previous persuasion check.
11.
Okay. He just sort of, like, crosses his arms grumpily and backs away.
You know, I was considering keeping you on as my charmingly combative advisor after this, but now I don't know.
Okay. Malachi, that is your turn.
How does the Lurker seem to be doing with his own internal battle?
You can tell that the internal battle is coming to a close. Like, he looks very injured at this point, and it is like, you can see that the fervor with which he is charging forward is lessening.
Hey, Adriana, he looks pretty injured. You're sure that this is all just, like, superficial?
We're almost there. It's fine.
Is she telling the truth, Hannah?
She is telling the truth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then for now, I'm going to keep hitting, just because he hasn't fully stopped yet. Malachi's going to attack one more time. Please, Finn, tell him I'm doing this out of concern for everybody's well-being. I don't know.
Concern for everybody's well-being isn't really his bag, even when he's normal.
All of his people's well-being. I don't know.
Okay, will do.
It's not out of malice. Or distaste for the sea.
I should hope not.
Do I have advantage from Nurgle?
I think you do.
Alright. First attack. Should hit. That is a 27.
Hit.
Wow, I rolled so well on the damage for that. 24 damage.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go at him again. This time I only have normal because I already used Nurgle's advantage. But I still hit. That is a 28 this time.
Beautiful.
19 damage that time.
Okay. He looks very, very hurt.
And that is all I could do.
Okay. That is the guards' turn. They don't want to, like, approach the rest of the way, so they keep their formation held, and they're all going to hold actions for if the Lurker charges into them, he's going to take a whole bunch of attacks as they're holding this line here. The Lurker is going to take another legendary action at the end of their turn. Yeah, just going to try to knock Malachi out again.
That's fair.
I don't think he likes you.
Ooh, hits. Yeah, let's see how I roll on damage, but I think probably you're going to go down. Actually, you're going to go down no matter what, I'm realizing on the math.
Yeah.
21 bludgeoning damage, Malachi.
Yeah, Malachi does his piece and then instantly gets knocked out by the tentacle again. This time he's just floating.
Okay. Regin, that is your turn.
I'm gonna dash to the gates of the city.
Okay. Cool. You kind of like go behind the line of guards here, and are like taking cover behind their line, essentially.
Oh, I'm not taking cover.
Okay, describe for me the attitude, then, with which Regin is charging toward the city.
Regin is charging towards the city with the intent of, well, Jesus, somebody must have some sort of idea of what the fuck to do.
Okay.
So I am actually running towards the city with the intent of skidding sideways into their Oval Office and speaking to their watery president and being like, sir, the football, sir. And my little babies are doing a very fast backstroke.
Mm-hmm. Wow. They learn so fast. They were just being taught.
They're amazing.
Okay, awesome. That's Nurgle's turn, then.
I'm going to have Nurgle drop Malachi's axe on him, so they're together.
Thanks.
Like a sarcophagus.
And then swim over to me and prepare to give me advantage.
Okay.
I'm never breaking up the band again, buddy. Well, I shouldn't say that. You never know what kind of situations will crop up. But never like this.
Nurgle sort of pets your hair
Aww.
with his tentacles, which is a horrible feeling, but
It feels good.
probably endearing. Yeah.
I'm not sure I have hair when I'm in Lurker form. That's an interesting question.
Wow.
Because I said I got scaly.
Oh, true.
No, I think I still have hair, just over the scales. It looks very odd.
Yeah.
It's like a fish wearing a wig.
Okay. The Kraken priests are gonna go. They're both still grappled, so they'll both still go for the melee attack. Both miss. Rolled a 9 and a 7. Which means that the Lurker gets another turn. I think at this point, the Lurker is just sort of like thrashing around. You can see it almost looks like the Lurker is battling himself. Like some of the tentacles are pulling on others. The Lurker's head is like thrashing back and forth. You can hear these roars echoing out into the ocean around. He's got 3 people, Malachi and both Kraken priests, grappled right now. He's just going to fling all 3 of them out into the ocean.
So long.
He is going to try to hit both Finn and Adriana to kind of like push them away from him. So he's going to throw Malachi at Finn. Finn, I need a dexterity saving throw from you.
Ah!
Here, catch your unconscious friend.
Nat 1.
Oh no.
But hey, since Malachi's getting thrown at me, I do have aura.
Malachi hits Finn like a sack of rocks.
Yeah. Malachi slams into
That's
you.
an 8 total.
You both are thrown 60 feet back, knocked prone, and take, just 1. You take just 1 bludgeoning damage, but Malachi, that is a failed death save for you. Failed the death save by slamming into Finn. And then, let's see, gonna throw the Kraken Priest at Adriana. She also fails her dex save, despite having pretty good dex saves. So they both take 5 damage. And then the last one gets thrown at just, like, one of the, soldiers. Who actually passes his dex save? Go, bestie. Manages to deftly maneuver out of the way. And you can tell that the Lurker is just, like, lashing out in fear and frustration and, like, I think maybe Finn is maybe the only one who has any idea of what's going on in his mind, and it's this war between every little thing that encompasses who the Lurker is. Finn, it is your turn now. You can tell that he is, like, right at the end of this.
Okay, I recover from Malachi.
Shoves Malachi's body off to the side.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're underwater, so I just sort of swim out from behind you, swim back towards Lurker, once again get right up in his face. I'm like, listen to me, it's me! It's Finn! Your son! Look at me in my cold, dark eyes. You know me, we talk sort of sometimes. You give me cryptic messages, I write you letters, it's me, and there's no one, I don't think there's anyone who exists in this ocean who knows you like I do, even though I know we've never actually met face to face before. But trust me, this isn't you, this isn't what you want to be doing.
This is not who you are!
And I am casting Voice of the Lurker on the Lurker to try to get him to come to his senses.
Yeah.
And also, I'm going to summon my tentacle to give him a little bat.
Okay. He's gonna roll. Beautiful. Rolled a 4. He only adds 5 to charisma saves, so that's a 9. He is immune to the frightened condition, so instead of being afraid, what you see is that all this movement, all this frantic thrashing around and the roaring into the water just stops in an instant. The Lurker goes completely still. The ocean around him goes completely still. Like, the currents stop. Everything just all at once holding its breath. There's this moment of total calm where you can see the Lurker closes his mouth and is just looking right into your eyes. And then there is a surge of movement as the Lurker just swims up, just straight up. You see from below, you all watch as he, like, breaks the surface of the ocean. And there is, like, leaps out of the water like a whale, this massive 100-foot-long beast. And then just crashes back down into the water. You feel the displacement even this far below it. The Lurker swims away and does like a big lap kind of like around the outskirts of the city. Again, he's roaring, but now it's just sort of like a displacement of energy and the remnants of his anger and his pain displacing into the water. The rest of you sort of gather together. Malachi, one of the clerics, like, comes rushing over to you and cure wounds you, so you are not bleeding out, and can come back to consciousness just in time to see the Lurker, like, slam back down into the ocean and start this lap around and around and around. The guards are all still, like, terrifiedly clutching their harpoons, like, they were so ready to have this fight that was probably going to get them all killed. And they're sort of, like, looking between themselves, like, what's happening? Why did it stop? Adriana, extremely bloodied, comes over and is like, it's all right, and, like, puts a hand on your shoulder, Finn, and you see her watching. Oh,
that's the shoulder you shot. That really hurts.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. Puts her hand on your other shoulder.
That one's actually also really tender because it's where Nurgle usually perches.
Nurgle kind of like pushes her hand away.
Maybe just a pat on the back.
Yeah, okay, I'll do that. She pats you on the back as you both watch the Lurker circle around and come back to sort of like rest right in front of where your little group is now huddled. Nani, do you think Regin, upon seeing this, so Regin had gotten like 60 feet toward the city when you see this all happen. Do you stay where you are, or turn and come back, or continue on to Nephtis?
Yeah, I'm gonna stop running, kind of turn, be like, we're making positive changes. I'm not gonna sprint if I don't have to. I mean, man, I was just... Alright, yep, cool. Cool. I'd like to look for interesting seashells on the seafloor.
Yeah, for sure. Roll the d20 for me.
18.
Wow! You find an awesome one.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It's really pretty.
I pocket it.
Meanwhile...
Finn is trying to focus on the Lurker, but his eyes keep darting over to Reagan's cool shell.
It's like one of those perfect curly ones.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Does it have a little guy inside?
No, that would have to be a nat 20.
I see.
I would hate to ruin somebody's day like that.
When the Lurker circles back around and sort of stops in front of the little group of you, you can see that somewhere around here he picked up a bunch of sea life. There are now, like, sharks floating next to him. You can see an octopus, like, perched on top of his head. There are small fish, like, darting and weaving through the tentacles, like, out and around them in the same way that you've seen them do with, like, anemones or with bits of the coral reef. The Lurker looks at you, at the group, but mostly at Finn. And you hear, really you feel more than hear, this low, rumbling voice. Just say, "Thank you for protecting me and the dwellers of my domain."
Finn immediately starts crying. It's like, you're welcome. Of course.
Adriana bows, which is a little bit funny to do in the water, but she does it, and the other cultists do it too.
Finn tries to bow, but he's a little shaky from blood loss and accidentally just does a full 360 flip.
Sick.
The Lurker, like, stretches out a tentacle toward you, Malachi, and another one toward you, Regin, and just sort of like...
Regin, he wants your cool shell.
Goes to, like, very gently pat you on the head.
Malachi, like, flinches away a little bit, but accepts it.
I'm like, oh, hey, man.
And you hear, toward you, Regin, you hear, "You carry the legacy of the great kings of the sky fittingly. And you," to Malachi, Your god in her tower has chosen her champion well. And then he pulls back.
Malachi looks touched.
He looks to the rest of the cult and says, "Thank you, my followers." And he stretches out one tentacle to Adriana. And you see, it kind of like... It does what is very clearly a, like, gentle caress of her cheek, except that it's, like, these tentacles are, like, bigger than her body. And so it's, like, a very, like... It just sort of, like, yeah, it just sort of, like, rests on her shoulder. And you see her arm comes up to, like, hug it. And you don't hear the Lurker say anything, but you do hear Adriana go, "Yeah, I miss you, too."
Aww.
The tentacle draws back, and the Lurker's eyes focus on you again, Finn. And you hear in your head, "My son,
Yes.
why don't you come with me? I want to show you our domain."
I would love literally nothing more.
The Lurker pulls back, and Finn, you follow as the Lurker starts to swim away from Nephtis, and you feel the ocean currents, like, sweep you up and pull you with him as you're both swimming. You can see the seas the way that your father sees them, feeling the currents cold and warm moving through the depths. You can see the coral reefs like teeming civilizations. You can see islands rising up from the waves with fishermen at their shores dipping hands and nets into the water. You can feel underground vents and volcanoes spewing heat and life-giving bacteria into the water. You can feel the magic that permeates all of it. And as you swim, you hear the Lurker's voice say, "All right, let's talk." And I think that's where we'll end our session.
Oh.
Wow.
So we can end it right here and pick up with that next time.
Oh, baby.
Fucking did it.
Good job.
Finally, a little FaceTime with the big fella.
Malachi had much more than FaceTime.
Yeah, you should tell your daddy needs to see his dentist ASAP.
Hold on. I don't think a dentist is who would deal with, like, throat lacerations.
Well, I also saw all of his teeth, Finn.
And they were immaculate.
Yeah, the teeth weren't pretty. No.
There's some stuff going on in those back rows, buddy.
Oh, no. He needs one of those symbiotic birds that peck stuff out of your teeth.
Wow! He really does.
But a fish.
He might need to pick up a bag of cough drops on the way home. I did do some damage to the gullet.
Luckily, he can go to one of those heat vents and make some tea.
Wow.
Scalding hot.
More like scalloping hot.
Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed that, which we certainly hope you did, you can find us other places on the internet. We are at Ship of Fools Cast on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram. You can also swim on over to patreon.com/shipoffools if you'd like to support our show, help us keep making more content, get access to the fun bonus content that we only put up on Patreon. Again, that's patreon.com/shipoffools. We have a couple people we need to thank. Thank you to Theo Golden for our logo art. You can find him on Instagram at tgoldenart. And thank you to Lucas Mangold for our theme music. You can email him for any of your music needs at lucascarlmusic@gmail.com. And we will be back with another episode to, handle whatever comes next on February 21st. So until then, we will see you on the open seas. Goodbye.
Trust me, this isn't you. This isn't what you want to be doing.
This is not who you are!
Evil Mufasa be like.
Remember who you are. Derogatory.